Hi, this is Dave Adams, E-mini trading professor. I'm going to talk a little bit about how your emotions get involved in a trade, and I'm actually going to be talking about myself and the trade I made this morning, and how I had a certain mindset that wasn't really the correct mindset, and it cost me about $1,000 on my very first trade. I think it's a great learning lesson. Of course, we want you to read our disclaimer because there's all sorts of important and pertinent information that you'll want to read. Okay, so here we go. Here's your fearless leader acting somewhat less than intelligent. I tried to show you what happened this morning. Right out of the blocks, we had a big run-up, and then another big run-up. Of course, I didn't know this was going to happen. But after this run-up, and there were some decent earnings reports today, I thought probably we were going to have an up day, which we did. But it rocketed right out of the blocks, and then began a correction. And I had it in my mind, and this was a terrible thing to think because as much as I harp on just trade the chart, I didn't do it at all. In any event, I broke about every rule you could break on this trade. What I did was I went from it's over here a little bit farther, from the beginning of the run up to the top, right on Fibonacci retracement. Here you can see the 50% line at 61.8. It pierced the 50% and stopped dead on the 61.8. Now, that's called the ambush zone, and I was absolutely sure that since this was just a retracement in my mind, that the next bar would move long. So I took 6 on a trade to scale out. I really thought I was going to hit a home run on it, and on the very next bar, this gosh darn thing went all the way back to almost the original, position that the run-up began on, and I got stopped out at 12 ticks on 6 contracts. So I'm $900 and some odd down before you can say sick 'em. And it didn't have to be that way because, as you can see, there's all kinds of information here that would have told me that this market wasn't going to change direction anytime soon, which was right here. You can see there was no crosses. The market's headed down. Actually broke the minus 100 a little later on as it continued down, just to add insult to injury. And I sat there, and the craziest thing was, I was the most surprised guy in the room. I thought, well, golly, it stops right at 61.8. It's going to turn and go the other way. And of course, that wasn't the beat, and that's a terrible mistake and an expensive mistake. And I had to work pretty hard. I stuck this up here. I ended up just about $200 up for the day, but it was a tough day. And the only reason it was tough was because I made it tough. Because I wasn't thinking, and I made some assumptions, some emotional and psychological assumptions about what was going to happen, and didn't pay attention to the chart. And I think it's a great lesson for you to learn in that just because an awful lot of charts turn on that 61.8 doesn't really mean that this one did. I should have waited a few bars to see what was going to happen. I didn't. I just jumped right in thinking I really had the market outsmarted. And we quickly found out who was smart and who wasn't, as the market proceeded to stop me all the way out. And I felt very foolish. Really, it was a pretty tough day. Yeah, I was going to show you even even the tick bars were telling me to be short. This is the NYC tick here. And, of course, I was paying, I just had it, I was locked in on that 61.8 ambush zone, and happily took that trade long, and it went straight short, and I was sitting there looking awfully stupid. My bad. Again, trade the chart, not what your emotions or anything else is telling you. I mean, I learned a good lesson. I traded very well the rest of the day, just that I got spanked, right out of the blocks. And it can happen to all of us, and including me. Well, I'm glad you got a chance to see that trade because, I subscribe to 8 or 10 different trading video series, and nobody ever shows their losses. And I make it a real point to help you understand that I make mistakes, and actually the guys that don't show you their trading losses, they make mistakes too. And I just had to make a real bad one today. And number one, I traded too many contracts. Number two, I made an assumption that wasn't based in fact. And number three, I was tied to an emotional position that had no basis in fact at all. And those are three things I rail on all the time. And as you can see, I broke every rule I had. So anyway, we still want you to come to see us, even though the trader was a bonehead today. We're at learntotradeinvest.com. Whole bunch of hyphens in there. We're really a program to educate beginning traders and intermediate traders, who are struggling with their trading or looking for a fresh approach. Hope you enjoyed my screw up today. It should be something you should learn from. And you know what? I made note of it in my trading diary, and it'll probably be another year before I do it again. But I don't have too much thought. I'll do it again. Have a great day. I hope that helps. Bye-bye.